This is exactly how you can read something once and remember it forever. Okay, so there's mainly 3 steps, and I'm going to go through them each one by one. So the first one, we're going to talk about somebody called Kim Peek, who is the man who had photographic memory. He did not have this for a random study technique that he found off the internet, but because he had a disease called FG syndrome. And he basically had the dream memory of basically every student, because every student only dreams they could only read something once and remember it forever. Well, he literally had this ability. But you might be sort of astonished to hear that he still struggled to reason and problem solve, even after knowing everything that there probably is to know after reading something only once. And that leads me to the point of students need to learn how to think. This is a whole other video that I made about, I think, a week ago. You need to go watch it, because yes, you could have the greatest memory possible, but if you don't know how to think, there's no point of the knowledge. If you can't apply the knowledge, if you don't know how to think with the knowledge itself, you will not be able to do good. Because if you don't know how to reason and problem solve, you won't be able to do anything of substance in genuine life. And secondly, for education, like if you're from anything above high school, or from high school even, if you don't know how to problem solve, you're going to struggle. That leads me to the second point, which is the forgetting curve. Anybody who read this title and clicked on it wants a genuine quick hack, but by science, it's literally impossible to learn something once and remember it forever, because this is the forgetting curve. Once you learn something, over time it will decline. There's some bits of information that will stay in our long-term memory, but you need to do a lot of encoding to make it stick to your long-term memory, and it also needs to have a lot of purpose. The reason why we remember a lot of really old memories, let's say from when we were young, maybe, is because they're in our long-term memory and it resembles something. And the forgetting curve, when you're learning new information, it fully just states you're going to forget everything over time, unless you do a repetition of the knowledge. This is what the spaced repetition study system is. It's to basically improve this learning curve, to basically make it last for longer. But I'm not over here to waste your time, so I'm going to tell you some actual study techniques that you can use if you really want to read something once and remember for the rest of your life. Which quite literally you can't. But here's like a couple tips. Which is keep asking why. You need to keep asking why afterwards you read something to understand something to its core. My personal recommendation, ask why 5 times. If you can't, ask it 3 times minimum. You will truly understand something to its core once you keep asking why. And secondly, apply it within 24 hours. You learn about, let's say, monetary policy or fiscal policy. Go do some practice questions. Either that's from the book or from past papers or some other source you can get questions from. Maybe ChatGPT. It really doesn't matter. You need to learn something and apply it within 24 hours. If you keep asking why and you apply it within 24 hours, you're done with about you will have better retention than 80% of people if you get tested literally the next day. With that, a very tiny little change which can do a lot of damage in your memory, it will literally insanely improve your memory, is to do a small review before bed. I know this goes against the principle of just reading something once, but if you just do a small review, just maybe do a couple small questions before you go to sleep, or just do a reread of what you learned maybe in the morning or in the afternoon, you will be able to improve your memory by a lot. If you just do these 3 techniques, trust me, you will have better retention than people who study for a week straight or for 20 hours. Anyways, join my free Discord. Bye-bye.